This is a revised edition. Revised, it's not a major revision. There are a couple of key points that are revised. We'll discuss that in our conversation. It also includes the Ishavasya Upanishad translation. And this is out from Fingerprint Press.
Let's start with an obvious but question without an obvious answer. Okay? Why do you love the Gita? Or let me rephrase that. Why it often elicits a defensive response. How do you love it? What drew you to the Gita and into such an extended and intimate engagement?
Yeah. When I read the Gita in Sanskrit, there was also a time when I was refreshing my knowledge of Sanskrit. As I told you, I was trying to rediscover what I knew about our tradition and how it could actually teach me something. I was completely shocked because it was a poem. When you read it, it says, Prajnavadamscha bhashase. That's the tone, he's mocking at Arjuna. Dharma kshetre guru kshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. That's the normal way of rendering the Gita. When you really think about it, it is Dharma kshetre guru kshetre samaveta yuyutsava mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. There's a lot that's gone on in the backdrop.
When you work with a text like the Gita and you're translating it into English, you're inevitably reworking a recitational text into a text that is intended to be read. Right? And yet the free verse style that you've adopted allows it to be a text that, at least to me, begs to be read aloud. I found myself when I was preparing for this thing, reading it aloud.
Yeah.
Right? And at the same time, the way you have laid the text out, you read the verses, enables other relationships to be established between the lines and the ideas.
Yeah.
Right? In several of the verses, the way she has laid it out, you can read those verses horizontally, you can read them vertically, or both. Right? And in fact, often in these possibilities, there will be one in which the kernel of the entire verse is to be found. And what I find is there's a pedagogical advantage to the method that you adopt.
Yes.
You cannot lazily read this translation. You're required to pause, and our comprehension of your translation and of the verse is dependent on being continually tripped up by the spacing and the line breaks. You read and you think, if she broken the sentence here, dropped that word to the next line, what difference would it have made?
A lot.
Everything. A lot, everything. And in this way, the reader is actively drawn into the text. Reading becomes an act of making meaning.
So this is a diagrammatic language.
It's a very careful translation, and that is abundantly clear. I mean, I was absolutely fascinated by your refusal to use the word indifferent.
Yeah.
You use the word undifferent.
Because indifferent now has got all these other connotations of a negative, uncaring person, but actually it is yoga samatvam uchyate. It is about being the same, equanimity and sameness. That's what Krishna talks about. So it is not indifferent, it is undifferent.
An absence of an agenda and a viewpoint. So a lot of interpretations have an agenda of conveying something.
I do have a viewpoint though.
But it's not fixed, but open to interpretation. And the diagrammatical way of portraying this kind of reflects that.
Yes.
Some freedom for the reader to kind of see things in his own point of view.
So I guess actually I would say my agenda was as a reader. My agenda is not as a teacher. My agenda was a reader. I was the reader. So my translation is a translation of a reader.
Well, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Mani. That was
Lata.
really lovely. And thank you, everyone.